Thanks for showing up tonight, you guys, to the kickoff call. We have, I think, some people from the Jumpstart June Challenge, and we have some people from the Rise Above Tribe. So that means that, like, some people have Ultimate Portion Fix and other people just have Portion Fix. So I wanted to kind of give, like, a rundown of both and show you where all your meal plan, meal prep resources are, and then just give you some extra tips, because I feel like when you first get started with this, or even if you've kind of been doing it for a while, like, any extra, like, ways to shake it up, make it more exciting or whatever are always welcome. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me just pull up Beachbody On Demand here and let you guys look at what I'm going to show you as far as all your resources go, because I think sometimes the first step is just knowing what you have access to. And if you guys have Ultimate Portion Fix, you are going to look a little different than the people that are using just regular Portion Fix. So can everybody see my screen here? Yeah, okay, cool. So if you are following regular Portion Fix, the number one thing I would suggest is that you go in here under nutrition and you look at the Fix8 cooking show. And this has like the real basic foundational fix program like outlined for you. But the cool thing about it is, so you scroll down a little bit here and you should have one of your channels as the Fix8 cooking show. And if you go into the Fix8 cooking show, you have a ton of videos, which is just like the Food Network basically, you know, but it's like all Portion Fix friendly recipes. But you also have the resources, which when my thing stops spinning, I can show you. And it lets you do your calculation. And the calculation is just like basic Portion Fix, which I would suggest everybody just start there, honestly. Foundational Fix is just the easier place to get started. And then you, from there, can maybe choose to follow like carb cycling, or maybe you can choose to follow, oh my gosh, sorry about this. Or you could choose to follow the time nutrition. But starting here is going to be the easiest place. And what is the deal? You guys can just do a quick calculation under resources whenever I can get it to pull up. Here we go. Okay. So under resources, you can, wait a minute, did they change it? Okay, so it looks like maybe they removed the actual foundational fix from here, but you have all these recipes. Okay, so that's not necessarily helpful, sorry. I think they changed it whenever they rolled out Ultimate Portion Fix, but what you could do is go into your actual program, and like the foundational fix is really under like 21-day fix or 21-day fix extreme, but you can go under 21-day fix real time also and just go to program materials, and you can actually figure out your nutrition right here. So you've got nutrition, and basically you can pull up the eating plan, and the eating plan tells you like exactly how many servings of what foods to eat based on where you are currently. And I say just go to 21-day fix because this is actually where the foundational fix started. There are some modifications to this eating plan for people following like 21-day fix extreme or 80-day obsession, or even like lift 4. You'll see some days are modified, but basically every new program now follows the basic 21-day fix. And this is kind of long, but you can actually go in here and you do your calculation, and basically you take your weight, and then it tells you exactly what to cancel out and then what to add back in based on your workout difficulty level and your activity level. And a lot of times people tend to like give themselves more credit, I think, for activity. Like most of us work 8-hour days and we sit at a desk most of the day. So we don't have like extremely active jobs. I think extremely active for a lot of these calculations is going to be more like construction worker, or maybe like a delivery driver or a furniture delivery guy or something like that. Most of our jobs are going to be more in the like sedentary or like moderate activity level. So here it tells you exactly what to do. Sorry, it's a lot of scrolling on this one, to find your actual like caloric baseline. And then you add in what your maintenance would be. If you're actually trying to lose weight, you're going to subtract the 750 here. And then you figure out what your calorie target is. And then it translates right into the meal plans. And you will see some modifications of this on newer programs. So just make sure if you choose to follow like Lift 4 for workouts or 80-day Obsession for workouts, that you actually go into that workout program and you pull up what the specifics are for you, and you do your calculation that way. So this just tells you here, like the thing about the Portion Fix as opposed to like calorie counting or like Weight Watchers points which is basically calorie counting, is that this actually tells you exactly how many servings of which food group to eat in a day. So it's really making sure you're getting the right macros. And we're not counting macros here. We're just counting like, okay, I'm trying to go for 4 servings of veggies, 2 servings of fruit, 4 proteins, 2 carbs, 1 healthy fat, 1 dressing each day if I'm in plan A. Of course, if you're higher up, then you're going to follow what the higher up is. A lot of times, you'll see like you fall like maybe you're 1502 as your calories. And so I get a lot of questions or like, should I follow A or B? And my suggestion is always like follow B. And then the next time like as you're losing weight, next time you calculate, it'll probably put you back into A and then you'll go to A. But follow what she says. Under eating is a huge problem for us, like in general. And I think a lot of people think that they're not losing weight, so they need to cut calories. When in reality, they just need to move things around. So these meal plans are definitely like higher veggie, higher protein, lower sugar, lower carb. And it's set up that way to be closer to like what the macros that your body needs in a day are. So you actually probably will eat more food at times than you typically would. But maybe you're overeating in the carb category or the sugar category, because those are like the 2 big ones that we see the most. So that is like one way to calculate. And then under that original Fixate cooking show I showed you, there's just hundreds of pages of recipes there. And it can be a little overwhelming, but what I suggest to people is like, if you're meal planning and like every Tuesday's Taco Tuesday, like look for a taco recipe on there and make it easier, on yourself. Every Friday in our house is like Pizza Friday. So like look for a pizza recipe if that's what you like, or if, for breakfast every day, you tend to go to Starbucks and you buy those like egg bites. Well, there's a 21-day fixed version of those egg bites out there. You could just Google it and you can find a recipe that you can make at home, and you'll save yourself a lot of money too, which is nice. That adds up. The next thing is if you actually have the Ultimate Portion Fix, you'll have the ability to access this right here. And the Ultimate Portion Fix, the biggest difference really is that it's like a nutrition course where she breaks down all of the Portion Fix like principles and guidelines, and she gives you a ton of advice on shopping, on meal prep, on how to feed your family healthier, how to incorporate your kids into this too, because I know that's like a huge area that a lot of people want to work on. So if you have Ultimate Portion Fix and you're going to start tomorrow, just make sure you've gotten through Module 3. And Module 3 basically tells you, how you calculate everything here. And it's really very similar. It's just like maybe you're going to do carb cycling because you have something coming up in 3 weeks and you really want to see, a huge push towards weight loss or something. Definitely just make sure you go through her Module 3 or, modules 1 through 3 to get there. If you choose Foundational Fix, that's probably going to be the easiest place to start for most people. And it's exactly like the 21-day fixed meal plan. It's just this has a lot more information for you. And then if you choose Time Nutrition, that's going to be more for like maybe you've been on a pretty set meal plan for a while, or you've been doing some pretty hard workouts for a while, and you want something that just kind of like helps you make your results go to the next level. That would be more of Time Nutrition. But if you haven't really like mastered the Foundational Fix, I probably wouldn't necessarily go into Time Nutrition. For some people, they think it's easier. It's just really hard for some people who don't always work out at the same time, or they have work schedules that vary, to be able to like eat within certain blocks of working out and things like that. So I just suggest if you're starting out, a lot of times go to Foundational Fix first, and then maybe you move into Time Nutrition if you want to make things a little bit harder. But her basics for the Ultimate Portion Fix are make sure you get through Module 3, which is like 16 videos. It's kind of a lot, but they're pretty short and you can, do a few at a time. But you also have all of your resources here too, like a way to log your food. The other thing we have is, if you guys haven't downloaded it yet, is the Nutrition Plus app on your phone. If you have an iPhone, it should be available. If you don't have an iPhone, you actually just use it through the Beachbody On Demand app, as I understand it. But you can actually just log your food right in here, and you put your containers. So like tonight for dinner, we had the like drunken noodles from the Instant Pot, and I think it's like 2 greens and a yellow. I would just go in and I'd actually like, click off what it is. And I like to use recipes that tell you exactly what it is, so you don't have to go do all the calculations yourself. But this tracks a lot like along the lines of your workbook that you have. But if you don't have the workbook and you want to go in and get started, you can use all of these resources here. And then the Pick Your Path is where the eating plans are actually. And then the calculator is, sorry, they put everything in like Spanish and French now, so there's a lot to scroll through. Under Containers 101, this is how you do your calculations right here. So if you haven't done this step yet and you're like, I want to get into the meal plan, you know, like trying to follow that, it does make a huge difference in your results. This is where you'd want to get started for the Ultimate Portion Fix. And you can pull this up directly on the Nutrition Plus app if you don't want to go through Beachbody On Demand. So those are kind of like the big places on Beachbody On Demand that you'll want to access to get going. I want to show you guys, though, a couple other websites that I really like for meal planning. And we put all of this in our Facebook groups in the like units, because they're social learning groups now. So you should be able to pull all this up there. But I just wanted to show you the Beachbody blog is really good for, let me just Google it, for recipes. And you can literally just pull this right up and go to recipes, and everything is laid out for you specifically. Like, it tells you exactly how many containers things count as, exactly like, you know, how it fits into your meal plan. And it, like, if you're following different variations, it'll show you that too. But you've got a ton of stuff right here, and it's broken down for you. So like in our house, we like to do a vegetarian recipe on Monday night. So like I would go here and pick a vegetarian recipe I really like. And then, you know, for later on in the week, they have some other options too. And this has a lot of really good stuff on it, you know, just random stuff, but it has a lot of like cross-referencing of Beachbody On Demand. But if you don't necessarily have Ultimate Portion Fix and you want to access some of those recipes, some of them will show up here too, which is great. So you can pull up any of these and it'll tell you, you know, right on the recipe, like I said, what it counts as, and it's just down here at the bottom. Right here. Oh wait, that just tells you the serving, sorry. Here you go. So it'll show like container equivalents really is all the Portion Fix stuff. The other like go-to website I have is this My Crazy Good Life. I don't know who the coach is, but she's just put a lot of time into it and has a lot of good stuff in her recipe database. But see, there's like 21-day fix recipes. Basically anything 21-day fix will be acceptable for Ultimate Portion Fix. Same for 80-day obsession. It's just, you know, your timing is different. But you can go to any, like, I just Google stuff. Like when I'm like, oh, I want drunken noodles, which is what we had tonight. I just Googled 21-day fix drunken noodles. And it was in the Instant Pot, and it took like 10 minutes, and it was really good. And I'll share that in our group too. But here she just shares a ton of stuff, like avocado stuffed chicken breast with bacon, pancakes, or I'm sorry, cupcakes, rotisserie chicken, wine popsicles. Ooh, that makes me excited. Okay, so like there's a couple of other coaches, but this is the best one I've seen for like the amount of stuff she has. There's a couple other ones that we posted in the group, and I'll just show you how to get there. So you can see the other pages that we like to use as our go-tos. Sorry, you guys, like we live in Missouri and our house has like a tornado shelter bathroom, and it throws off Wi-Fi in the entire house. So nothing is ever quite as fast as it should be. Just a few more weeks and we'll be gone, but okay. So here in the Jumpstart June group, this is mostly Ultimate Portion Fix people, but you'll see there are learning units here. And we just kind of broke it down for you and put some meal planning resources in here. There's also a couple Google Drives that we have for our team, and a lot of them are meal plans I created, and they are for Plan A of the Foundational Fix. You can feel free to use any of them. So here's all the sample meal plans here. And then I think I put, well, I've made a post before with the other websites that I like, so I'll make sure to put that post in again. But here are 2 Google Drives full of meal plans that you can use. They're just plan A. So if you're on plan B, C, or whatnot, just make sure you add in your serving sizes. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you really quickly was like the biggest questions I get, I just kind of wanted to address them, like just so you kind of know that it, you know, is not just you that's thinking this. So the first one I get a lot is like, Shakeology is gross. You know, how do I make it taste good? Some people love it right off the bat. Some people don't. And I have to say, like, a serving of Shakeology is like 70 vegetables, fruits, different vitamins and minerals. So some of it can have an earthy flavor, right? And our taste buds, a lot of times if we're eating a lot more processed food, or if we're eating maybe like, you know, packaged foods, like things that aren't necessarily all natural, it's just, we're not used to it. So it takes adjustment. You do not have to blend your Shakeology. Like some days I just prefer to shake mine up with cold water and ice. It tastes like chocolate milk because I use vegan chocolate. And that's totally fine. You know, you don't have to do it that way. But if you like to blend it, make sure that you find a recipe that aligns with something that you usually like. Like if you know that your thing is like I love a, you know, a mint chocolate chip milkshake. Like look up mint chocolate chip Shakeology and make that recipe for Shakeology, because it will taste better when you start adding a few things to it. Now, I mean, it took time for me to get from like those, you know, done up shakes with like a bunch of stuff in them to like now I can literally mix it with just spinach and water and I'm good. Like I'll put spinach in it because my kids drink mine and I want them to like get some extra veggies. It took a while to get there though. Like my taste buds were not there when I first got it. So I had to, in the beginning, like dress it up, you know, add peanut butter, almond butter, or PB powder, or half a banana, or, you know, strawberries. Some people love cherries. So don't be afraid to dress it up, but you don't have to. Like the way it comes with all of the daily like nutrition that you need. It is basically your probiotics, your prebiotics, your daily multivitamin, your daily like antioxidants and digestive enzymes. So basically if you have any digestive issues, it helps heal your gut, which is just like means that long-term health is what it's geared toward, right? Like it's kind of like your insurance policy. It helps your immune system and energy and things like that. Does not matter at all when you drink it in a day. However, like some people do get an added energy boost from it, so they might want to drink it more in the mornings. It does help with craving. So if you save it to like 4 p.m. and you know at 2 o'clock you usually want to go for chocolate, like maybe you need to put it above that so you're not going for chocolate every day at, you know, 4 p.m. or 2 p.m., whatever. So that's something to keep in mind. You can also make a lot of sweet treats out of Shakeology. And if you go onto that Beachbody blog site, there's a ton of stuff on there. They have protein balls, they have brownies, they have ice cream, they have like little granola bars and stuff like that. So don't be afraid to play around with it too. Like, you know, we make those like no-bake donut holes with the vanilla here, and my kids really like those. And they're great. But you obviously, I think, will get a little more bang for your buck if you just mix it up as like your shake for your snack for your meal. And you can use it as either. It's not a meal replacement shake, but it can be a meal for you. It's not a weight loss shake, but it can help with weight loss. So there's just a lot of like unknowns about it. If you want more information about it, like I can give you all the like science health stuff, but just for like this purpose, I just figured I would kind of like narrow it down to what people mostly ask about. In that Facebook group where I just showed you like the learning units, there's a unit on Shakeology. I put a video in there of like, how do I make my shake not taste like crap or something like that, because somebody had that on YouTube and I thought it was kind of helpful. And then there's also a link to other recipes for it. The other questions I get a lot are like, how do you like actually plan your week? And I think under Ultimate Portion Fix, she covers it really well because she gives you like, you know, you can do meal prep for 3 days, or you can do meal prep per day, or you can do it for a whole week. And everybody's so different. Like, you know, some of the ladies in our groups are like religious Sunday meal prep every day. I'm not usually like that because I work from home and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to want on Tuesday if I'm going to the store on Sunday. But I do have to say, like today I made a real point to meal prep, and it just like, it helps you obviously make better choices through the week, and it helps save money. So I would just suggest, like, if you know your weekends are always crazy, which is what I hear most people say, then just try to meal prep, like, or, you know, stay on plan Sunday through like Friday evening, and make sure you have some good healthy things like on deck for that. So today, for example, like just to tell you guys what I did, because I think sometimes this is helpful, like, you know, I wrote out a quick meal plan and I said, Shakeology probably will be breakfast. I always add in a handful of spinach because I feel like greens are always where I'm behind at the end of the day if I don't just like proactively start the day with them. And then I put like later in the day snack, maybe some eggs. I went ahead and browned up a ton of turkey sausage today for the week and have that just like in the refrigerator. So if I make up some eggs and want to toss them in, I can. Also, like, easy to add veggies to the eggs. And then for lunch, I made like this giant bowl of like chickpea veggie salad. And it was something I got directly off, I think it was that Crazy Good Life website. I'll tell you in a sec. And that will be like more than enough lunch for me throughout the entire week. So I always try to keep like breakfast, snacks, and lunch the same. Dinner is where I really vary it up. And it just makes things easier to go like shopping with, and it makes things easier for prep. Like, I can't eat something different every day. Confessions of a Fit Foodie. That's the other one that I really love. Sorry, I didn't show you that website. That's where I got the lunch recipe. And then for snacks, I just cut up like some veggies, and then I made, there's like a Greek yogurt veggie dip on, I'll tell you this website too, sorry. Oh, I think I X'd out of it. It's on one of those two, but you can Google it. It's like Greek yogurt veggie dip, and you just add a bunch of spices into it and cut up veggies, and that'll be a snack. Or you could do hummus or something like that, really easy. And then dinners, I always, like I said, I try to pick like a meatless Monday, and then I try to do like an Instant Pot or crock pot one night a week because it just makes life easier. And then like a one dish meal or something like that. So I didn't really prep a ton. I made some banana bread too, because like I feel like the sweet tooth thing always comes in, and then what are you going to go for? Like whatever you've made up, So I made up like a 21-day fixed banana bread, and just the kids will eat it, and if I need it, I'll go for it. But just keep it really simple for yourself. Make it as repetitive as possible, and then take whatever you normally do. And if you're like, I know I have to have like oatmeal every morning, or I love an omelet every morning, or whatever, like stick with those things. Don't change that stuff up. It's just like figure out where your shortcomings are as it compares to like what the program says for you to have, and then make your modifications there. So like if you know that you skip a meal and then 4, 5, 6 o'clock, you're super hungry, so you start snacking, then you eat dinner, then you always go for an after dinner snack, and like that's the time where you fall apart. Like, okay, let's make sure your lunch is a little bit heavier, and then you're adding in something good as like your PM snack, so you're not going crazy in the evenings, and then if you need to have a pep talk with yourself in the evenings about whatever those habits are, you can put a little note on your refrigerator, or brush your teeth at a certain time, or like, do some other things that help, or get some hot tea to keep on hand. It's not really about like deprivation. It's just more about getting you to where you want to be, And I think this has to work for you for life. So making crazy modifications, if you know it's not realistic, it's only going to last for a couple weeks, and then you're going to be like, I'm done with this. So make it like, something that works for you. And then the other thing I get asked a lot about is the weekends. And the weekends are hard for everybody. Like a lot of us travel, it's the summer, your kids might be out of school and things are just crazy. The best I've ever like done on this in terms of structure is like mornings on the weekends always have like some sort of healthier breakfast that the whole family will eat. Like there's a good French toast bake that's out there like for 21-day fix. There are like easy pancakes you can make, muffins, stuff like that. And then, always have my Shakeology as like a snack. Lunch, usually I try to make like a salad, and then dinner I might just let be my like free-for-all, and it's not like I'm going to have everything under the sun, but it's just like, okay, I know we're going to go out to eat. Like last night we had a date night with another couple, and I had wine. I had like a lobster stuffed mushrooms, a salad, some chicken, some French fries. I guess I ate it all. But anyways, like the rest of the day was pretty good. So I didn't feel that bad about it. Like that's my Saturday night. I had a great time. No big deal. Wake up today and you're just like back to where, I want to be. So I think like your mindset's a huge part of it too. And just kind of planning stuff in advance. And it's not like, it looks really intimidating, you guys. And I have to say the first time I ever did this, I ripped up like 4 meal plans, making one on a Friday night. And I was like, I don't know how I'm ever going to stick with this. But I finally got one in place, and I just like moved things around as I needed to. And after that, it got really easy. And I feel like it's a lot of food, and it's not like, I don't feel like I'm eating like vegetables all day or anything boring. It's, it's a good variety. So it helps just to kind of like get some things in your rotation that you like, and to figure out what your issue is, because we all have one, and just try to figure out ways to minimize it. But maybe you don't like I've tried the cut out wine completely thing, and I know I'm just not like, that makes me feel like I'm not really enjoying, I'm just overthinking everything, So it's like, where can I fit in that glass of wine and maybe take a carb out earlier in the day or something like that, you know? And the same thing with dessert or carbs or whatever. Like, you just move stuff around as it works for you. I just talked a lot, sorry. But that's kind of like, you know, everything in a nutshell that I would say. Anybody else want to give like their tips or ask any questions? No? Caroline?
I had something and then I forgot. So I was trying to think. It was like on the tip of my tongue. I struggle on the weekends like you, but I've realized since starting this program and just kind of learning it, I've done the weekends like you were saying, like in the morning. Like this morning, Wes, my husband, does mostly all the cooking in our family, and he made like a hash with some sweet potatoes, red bell peppers, avocados, and eggs. And that was breakfast. And then for lunch, I just had a shake. And then for dinner tonight, we went to Chili's, and I just had like 3 ribs and a couple of fries and some coleslaw, you know, and that was the thing. Like it helps me balance, because my, you know, perspective on this is I want to make this a lifelong change. And so I can't just, like you're saying, cut out things altogether. That's just not realistic for me. Yeah. So I like your weekend plan, and I feel better knowing that, okay, someone else is doing it. I wasn't just like winging it and justifying it in my head.
Yeah, I mean, like the first 21 days I did this, I was like super strict, and maybe even that next 21 days. But then after that, it's like, okay, well, what's life going to look like? You know, like
yeah.
In reality, you know, you could pick your 21 days and really go all in. And I think that's great. Right. But, you know, like if it's not perfect, the one thing I hate to see is that people just stop because they're like, oh, I got to day 14 and I did this. I'm like, just keep going. Like, if you finish a calendar of a program or something, that makes you feel better than stop, you know?
Yeah, I think my hardest thing I've struggled with is like getting enough veggies in. I love fruit. And it's not that I don't love veggies. I just struggle getting them in. So I'll put spinach in the shake and like have veggie at dinner and usually one snack, but I just like never can get to that 4th, and I just struggle. So I didn't know about all these resources. So thank you for sharing like on the group on Facebook, but also there's like, I watched the videos and stuff with the UPF, but like some other ones. So that's great to know that I can look up some like other ways to sneak them in. So
yeah. And I think some of the other ladies do like zucchini or cauliflower in their shakes. I've never done that. But the other thing I do is I just keep like a bag of spinach. And if it's like, oh, I'm going to have a wrap for lunch or a sandwich for lunch, like just toss a handful of it on there. And I'm like, you know, that helps. But also sometimes like if you know that you don't get that excited about like raw veggies, like roast up some veggies or like make a tomato cucumber salad that might have like a good dressing that you like on it or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm honestly not that structured when it comes to counting oils and dressings.
That's a good idea.
I don't know. I can't nitpick all that stuff. So I kind of let that stuff go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. This has been really helpful.
And I know there's like some convenience resources that we've shared before. Like, I always share like the cauliflower pizza crust that I like to get. And I don't really know what it counts as. Like she'd probably say like, this is not 100% on plan, but I'm like, hey, it's better than nothing. And making your own cauliflower crust is just a pain if you've ever done it. So the like cauliflower pizza crust is good. I shared like these tattooed chef like buffalo cauliflower burger patties in the past. I don't know. We have them here at Walmart. And I'll like you said, you struggle getting veggies in. Like I might just make like a sandwich with that for lunch as opposed to like a turkey and cheese or whatever. Because at least it has some extra veggies in it. This is the pizza crust. We don't really have a lot to choose from here, so you probably have other brands, but it's this one. And then, I know a lot of people like to get these. This has been in here forever. I need to make this, but like these riced veggies, and you could make like a risotto or whatever out of it if you add Parmesan and like a little bit of oil. And then this is like a total cheat, but I like to buy these plantain chips because I like salty, like.
Oh my God, yes.
And these, I I think she counts them as a yellow, but sometimes if I'm behind on like purples, I'm like, put these in my purple. This will be my purple for the day. Like if I want something salty, you know. And then I'm trying to think what else. Oh, we have all these like little weird salad topper things here. So crispy beets and like crispy jalapenos. I wouldn't probably count these as like a veggie, but like I'll just throw them into stuff. And it just makes it like, I don't want to eat salad every day, but if I do, I want it to be good, you know? And then another thing that a lot of people like to buy is like the chickpea pasta. I don't have any right now, but if you're gluten-free, it's obviously good, but also like if you just want a pasta that's not, I don't know, like that's higher in protein and maybe it's not just like a total carb. You know, if you're following the vegan meal plan, chickpeas are actually a protein, not a carb, which is where things get confusing. So on my like meatless Monday, sometimes I just rearrange my own containers. Not really like the way she would do it, but I'm like, you know, chickpea pasta is like if I'm behind on a protein, it could count as a protein in my head. So I just count it that way. But they have this brand called Bonza that's at Target that's really good. I've gotten it on Amazon personally, and then I think that's like if you live in an actual city, unlike me, you probably have it in some of your better grocery stores. We just don't have that. But it's good. And they also have like, you know, the different shapes of pasta and stuff like that. And then I've had people ask me about Trader Joe's cauliflower gnocchi. I have no idea about that. I've never had access to it. I would probably eat it all the time if I did. Like it's probably going to be part veggie, part protein, you know, or part carb based on the ingredients, because I'm sure there's some flour or something in it. Like I wouldn't get too like bogged down in details sometimes, you know, it's just like, is this the better option if I'm craving pasta or like something carby? Yes. Okay, good. Go for it. You know?
Yep. Thank you. Well, I'm going to have to log off, but thank you so much.
Yeah.
I hope y'all have a good evening.
Bye, Carolyn.
Bye.
Anybody else? Amy, it's nice to see you. Bailey, it's nice to see you. I've never actually like seen you guys like face to face, you know?
This was so helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. I'll post it in the groups too. And then just for you guys, I know Amy, you and I talk about a lot, but like some of us work out live in the morning. So if you guys want the accountability for that, we can do it. I think, Amanda, you guys do like super early. What time is it?
Well, we're supposed to do 5, but we normally start about 5:15.
So they're on Eastern Standard Time. I'm Central right now, and I've been getting up at like 5:15 my time. So if anybody wants to work out live around like 6:15 Eastern, that's more my time slot. But we'll post that in the group again too. They do like a Facebook group workout. I just use this link for Zoom. So if you want to work out at like 6:15 in the mornings, this would be the link. And we just like log on and say, hey, like still really tired here, but if you want the accountability, we're at least both here, you know, whatever. So that's always an option. And then I think that's about it. Like if there's anything else that you have questions about that's totally unrelated, feel free to ask. I think the only other thing I always like to tell people is like pick a book or something positive, because I think your mindset is the biggest part of all this. And if you struggle there and you're a perfectionist or you have a hard time getting motivated or whatever your problem is, there's probably like a book that's right on point for it, or a podcast. So a good podcast for getting started is the Life Coach School. And then a good book, like if you just want like a confidence building book, is You Are a Badass. That's my favorite for like starting off. But make sure you take care of your mind while you're doing this stuff too, because I just think sometimes it gets overwhelming and stressful and we are hard on ourselves and we beat ourselves up unnecessarily, and it shouldn't be that tough, you know? All right, ladies. Well, I hope you guys have a good Sunday, and we'll post more stuff in the group about like the little group competition part. And then, yeah, I'm always
with that. Are we going to have teams?
Yeah.
Are we still doing that? Okay.
Yeah, I need to post it tonight. And then when we do the check-ins, like each team will be kind of like separated on that.
Okay.
I tried to do the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet was just way too much.
I stopped doing it. It was too much for me.
I mean, for 1 month it was fine, and the next month I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't want to track anything else or look at anything else. So, yeah. We'll just try to make it a little bit more simple this time.
Perfect.
I gotta remember to send you my money.
Yeah, I'll post about it again tonight. I was going to go back and look at the post, do a final call for anybody else who wants to join, and then make like a post about teams.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank you
y'all.
so much.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.